Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we are going to be getting into the hero changes of 7.31, and man, there are so many hero changes I'm excited to talk about. I already recorded the video, so this is a separate intro. Man, these changes are insane, guys. I can't wait to experiment with the builds, and hopefully tomorrow I'm going to come out with like a top 10 builds to try video. That's going to be hype. I love making those videos so much, but nonetheless, let's get to the hero changes. Alright, and one more thing before we get into this big patch, I just want to tell you guys, you should sign up for gameleap right now. And the reason why is over there with this new patch, I'm going to be making 2 new videos literally every single day for the next couple of weeks just about how to win in this new patch. Like, the amount of value that is going to be on the site right now is absolutely insane. And the best part of this is not only is that the case, but I'm also going to be giving you guys a 50% off code if you use the code GETGOOD, G-I-T-G-U-D, while you are signing up, you get 50% off. You literally will not get this most of the time. It is absolutely insane how good gameleap is right now. So go give it a shot right now. I can't wait to see you guys there. And yeah, let's get into the video. All right, now let's get into the hero changes. First, we got Abaddon. So he lost a little bit of strength gain, gained some mana regen, which is nice on this hero. He has mana regen problems, but that's only 15 mana every minute. Not really significant, to be honest. Reworked the shard, causes Miscoil to deal Abaddon's attack damage on impact, applying on hit effects, and increases Curse of the Avernus base level. So they want you to be a carry? Can this hero be played as a core? And would making Miscoil deal damage with the shard make it good enough to be a core? I think the answer is no. I'm gonna write this off as kind of worthless changes. Alchemist grants Alchemist movement speed while charging. Really? Explosion now damages enemy creeps within its radius. Nice, I'm gonna max concoction and take stacks. Thank you, Val. No, I'm kidding. But all right, I mean, it kind of matters, I guess, right? Oh no, it matters actually, because it's good at killing unit heroes. So like Beastmaster and Lycan. I actually didn't know that it didn't do damage. That's interesting, but the movement speed while charging is huge. That is actually massive. 20% movement speed at max is large. So big buff to Alk. Definitely, I love that. I like that change. It's cool. It's cool. Definitely doesn't make him busted, but makes him much stronger. Cold Feet now deals damage in 5.5 second intervals instead of 1. Okay. I guess it makes it like slightly better at finishing off kills in some circumstances. I don't really know what else that does, to be honest. Ice Vortex, slow rescaled from 15. Okay, so it's it's basically a nerf. Yeah, okay, it's a nerf. Magic Amplification rescaled as well to being a buff. It's better at level 1. Yeah, it's a buff. Definitely a buff. Much better at level 1. 4% better at level 1. So pretty significant. Basically, this makes the value point of Ice Vortex good. It makes the builds where you don't want to put a lot of points into the spell good, but honestly, I kind of like maxing out Ice Vortex. So, it's okay some games, but generally I would say it's bad. Chilling Touch. Cooldown reduced, much better at level 1, so much better in lane, same mana cost. It's better at max as well, so it really, they're kind of pushing maxing Chilling Touch here. That's kind of what I'm seeing. But the damage was reduced. Not by a lot. 10 at level 1 is pretty significant, but you can spam it more and it uses your attack damage. So I would say it's a buff for the laning stage. I would say it's a buff overall because the mana was pretty significant as well. And technically, this change at max is only like a small percentage change, right? Like 8% less or something like that. Less than that, it's like 6 or something. So yeah, not too bad. Level 20 Ice Fort. Okay, whatever. Animage, base strength reduced by 2. Whoa, okay. That's 40 less HP. All right. Mana Break can now stack with Diffusal Blade's mana burn. Okay. Okay. Diffusal Animage. Is that what we're going for here, Valve? Is that what we're pushing? Diffusal Animage? Is that necessary? Is that a good idea? Do I really want to see my 2K coaching students and not having a Battle Fury because they went Diffusal first? I don't know. I'm not sure. That seems questionable. Now additionally slows enemy movement speed. Whoa. For 10, 20, 30, 40% for 0.5 seconds when it burns all of its target's mana. Oh, all of its target's mana. Okay, all of its target's mana, which actually matters quite a bit. It's a big nerf to the base strength in the laning stage, I will say, but when you burn someone's mana, the problem would often be that you couldn't kill them anymore because you didn't do any damage. At least you slow them now, but in the mid to late game, you usually wouldn't fully burn people's mana pools. I mean, sometimes against certain heroes, you would, So it is really good against like the centaurs where you would burn their mana fast, but they'd still be like half HP. It's really good against those type of heroes in particular who actually sort of countered Anti-Mage in some regard in that way. So it's kind of a cool buff. I never would have thought of that. That's quite the change. Arc Warden, agility gain increased by 0.5. That's a lot. That's a lot. Spark damage rate increased by 30 at max, and it scales up, so it's an overall buff, quite significant. Tempest Double now has a 50% attack damage penalty if more than 2,000 units away from Arc Warden. Really? Is that a good idea? Okay, so basically what they're saying is you can't use this to split push. Don't use it to split push. You will be using this to teamfight. You will group up with treads, maybe a Midas, but like treads, and you're gonna hit people. That's the concept here. 50% CDR at max. What the oh my god. What the fuck? 50% CDR? Holy, all right. That is a ridiculous talent. What in the 50% on a hero that abuses items? What the shit? What the? Are you kidding? All right, if you can get this hero to late game, 50% CDR. Are you kidding me? What does that make Hex's cooldown? Or like Bloodthorn? What the? I mean, the question is really gonna be for me, can you pull this hero off without split pushing? I think the answer is yes. I like treads on this hero, honestly. I like the idea of going Wraithband's treads into like Mjolnir. I'm gonna try it. That could be cool. Axe. Holy, now deals physical damage rescaled to, what the? Plus Axe's armor? Okay, well, I guess when you call, it does more damage for like a very short period of time. No longer grants movement speed to Axe. Not only slows enemies as long as they are not facing Axe. What? But it's a very significant slow at max, but it doesn't do that much damage unless you have a lot of armor. But you only have armor for a very short time when you call. What the fuck? What is this? This is so stupid, dude. I don't know. What the? All right, counter Helix shard debuff now only reduces total attack damage taken by axe from the affected unit. This makes Blade Mail deal full damage back since the outgoing damage isn't reduced. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so that's a really big buff to this shard, which was actually a very strong shard. This axe shard was quite good. I have a feeling people are just gonna stick to the 1 point in Battle Hunger or not take it at all. I don't know. I can't see this as being like frankly that good. Maybe the 10 plus 1 times Axis armor actually makes it a good value point. But like, not really, because when are you gonna have armor? I don't know. What are you gonna stack armor on Axe? I don't know. Killing an enemy hero grants permanent armor. Oh my, Valve, stop it, dude. What is this, Valve? What is this shit? How is this the concept? Cooldown increased significantly. Mana cost increased significantly level 1, which Axe has mana problems at level 1. Move speed nerfed, attack speed nerfed. Damage is now pure and Pierce's magic made it. So, and it does a lot, just flat. It still resets as well. That is a lot flat. I mean, like, you're not gonna use it for that reason, right? Because this is still like the chop range. I don't know, man. I can't, this seems like the hero's like about the same, he's just weird. He's just weird as shit. I don't even really want to read these talents. Is there anything notable? No. Oh, it's retro. Alright, if you're 20-0, you can get bonus 20 armor at level 20. Okay. This is so good. What is this shit? What is this 2 times Battle Hunger armor multiplier? Alright, so if you happen to have 80 armor on Axe in the late game, your Battle Hunger is going to shred. So, this is so goofy, man. What is this? This is so not, like, generally practical, in my opinion. I don't know, man. No longer reduces cast speed, now reduces cast range. Whoa, that's a buff. Damage reduced. What? Don't tell me this is the only changes to Bane. Are you kidding me? Nah, dude. This is just a buff, if anything. What? What the? Nah. Tell me there's something I'm missing. Dude, no, man. Nerf Bane, dude. Why would you make him better? He's just better. The hero's better. It's better. Cast range reduced by 30%. You know how significant that is? Are you kidding me, Valve? Guys, just max enfeeble. Just go 4-1-4. I'm telling you, or something like. Why would you literally go 4-1-4? People are not. They're gonna get enfeebled and unironically not know how to play the game. You're gonna try to bolt someone as Zeus and you'd be like, oh, I have a chode bolt or something like that. I don't know. What is this? Oh my god. All right, I guess Bane is still good. Bat Rider, base armor increased by 1, that's good. Rework Shard, Flaming Lasso no longer disarms you. Your attacks apply sticky napalm. What the? What are you gonna buy? Like Witchblade on Bat Rider? That's definitely what they're going for. Doesn't the... Oh no, they got rid of that, right? You can't use Witchblade Bat Rider, or can you? Wait, can you go Witchblade on Bat Rider? Does that still work? Because that's what people are gonna do then. What the fuck? That is so weird. I mean, it's definitely a nerf, because the other shard was literally why this hero was good, to be honest. Like, if you didn't buy shard at mid 20 on Bat Rider, you're just, you just didn't understand the hero. All right. Whoa, that is a lot of sticky napalm radius. That's pretty good, actually. Flame Break knockback? Meh. Flaming Lasso cooldown at 15. That doesn't seem that good, because you lose the 5 sticky napalm damage, which you get at 20, but it's only 6, so that... I mean, this level 20 talent is pretty sick. Sticky napalm charges, but like, other than that, until you get to level 25, just seems like a lot of nerfs, to be frank. Can this hero still be played? Yes, it's Bat Rider at the end of the day. If you win your lane, and you buy bots, and you run around, you can kill people, but like, you don't really want to lasso someone and then stand still auto-attacking them. It's kind of counterintuitive, Valve. I don't know if that really makes a lot of sense, but if you have max attack speed, you can instantly get someone up to like 10 attacks of sticky napalm, which is pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But you gotta buy your shard to do that, so, not good. Witchblade Bat Rider, is that what we're really gonna see? I don't think so. I just don't, yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be hilarious to see this when people like have a good game, but in like a practical sense, I don't think it's good. Beastmaster, base damage reduced by 2, that's kind of a lot, okay, whatever. Bloodseeker, new scepter, Blood Mist, he sprays his blood in his area, okay? Taking 5% max HP and pure damage every second while dealing 5% of a unit's max HP to enemies within a big radius, slowing his enemies by 25%. So it's rot, right? Kind of. It's rot. This is rot. It's a weird rot. While Blood Mist is active, thirst healing is increased by 50%. Cooldown is 4 seconds, cannot be turned off while on cooldown. How long does this last for? Cannot be turned off while on... So it has to last for 4 seconds, and then you can turn it off. So this seems like a big... I was gonna say a big buff, but like... Because you would buy this as an offlaner, right? Like, this is like a buff to offlane Bloodseeker, you know? Which I think is kind of his best role. Well, he's actually a good safe laner, honestly, some games. Is this good? It's cool. It's cool. But you kind of need like a hood. I mean, like a BK beater, right? To make this work. So you kind of... Which, like, you can't really buy on offlane. I don't know if this... I think this is kind of bad. I think it's bad because it's expensive and you need BKB. Like... How are you gonna run in? What are you gonna have, like Atos Ags? Like, you can't, I don't know, man. I think the other Ags was just much better in most situations, frankly. So I'm gonna say kind of a nerf. It's cool, but I don't think it's good. Movement speed increased, cooldown increased, so he's faster, he's about the same. Yeah, okay. I would say it's a buff, honestly. Just 5 flat movement speed is kind of generally just a buff. Cinderbrew now also drenches Brewmaster himself in his brew. Brewmaster doesn't get the negative effects, which means what? Why is that? Because when he Qs, it does... Oh, so like the damage can pop around him as well? That's kind of cool. I think that's the idea. Oh, if enemies do damage to him, then it procs? I'm guessing that's the concept, right? So like you can proc it, it puts it on yourself. So if you're getting chased, you put it on yourself, then it procs. Yeah, that's pretty good. That seems useful. Reworked. Brewmaster gains 3 stances oh my god, what is this? What is this? Based on his elements that he can freely switch to, stances have stronger effects if Brewmaster is already affected by Cinderbrew. Okay. Stance grants armor. Effect is tripled if he's affected by Cinderbrew. What the? It grants armor? That's kind of a lot at max. And magic resist. How often can you switch this? Freely. Really. It grants armor or magic resist, evasion or movement speed, 24% chance of dealing a crit. And it's tripled. Is everything tripled? Oh, the chance is tripled if you're affected by Cinderbrew, because it puts it on himself. How long does that last for? That seems broken. No? 5 seconds. Duration is increased. So how does it increase the damage? If they do damage to you, so like, you just... So basically, if you can bait the enemy to doing damage to you and proccing the Cinderbrew on you, you just pop off. This is the concept. If the enemy messes up, or if they're not careful and they keep reapplying Cinderbrew to you when they do damage to you, then you just destroy them. because you get 60% magic resist. So they can't cast spells on you when you're Cinderbrood. That's kind of insane, right? Because like, if you get gone on and you have max Drunken Brawler, and you only need 1 point in Cinderbrew because it doesn't change in scaling. So if you max Drunken Brawler, which already is pretty good, 7 armor and 20% magic resist, and you get gone on, it will give you 60% magic resist and 21 armor, or 90% evasion and 33% movement speed. This might be nuts. I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure you can afford to max the E on this hero. It's not that bad. Especially considering the E just gives you like flat and good stuff. Like you just take the E and you just sit in this storm stance in the laning stage. You just get 15% evasion, right? You know, like you just, I don't know. It could be cool. I kind of like this. It's cool. I like it. It's cool. It's cool. And the shard grants, oh, he gets another stance, 20% stats resist? Nah, man. And that gets tripled? What? You can get 60% status resist? Dude. Ain't no way. All right. I don't know, man. This is going to be cool. I'm really curious to see what people are going to do with this. That's cool. Huh. That could be cool. Bristleback, base move speed increased by 5. It's nice. Strength gain. Whoa. Okay. More charges on Warpath, which is good, but a lot less strength gain. 0.4. How much does 0.4 matter? Kind of a little. Every 3 levels, you lose like a strength. I guess it's not that big of a deal, frankly. I'm going to say that this is a buff. It's 5 movement speed and more Warpath stacks, which definitely matters. A bit of a nerf than the mana regen talent, which you would take. No one really took this talent anyway. This was the worst talent. This was the better talent. The better talent got buffed. The worst talent got nerfed. So I kind of want to say it's a buff. It's a buff. Brood Mother. Spinner Snare can be cast anywhere there's a web, regardless of cast range. Yeah, okay. So this is his axe, which I've seen people buy. Apparently it's not that bad, but it's like kind of weird. Battling duration reduced by a lot. Battling damage increased from 14 at all levels to 14, 17, 20. That's probably... It's like, I wanted to say it's a buff, but they're 20 seconds less duration early game, which is like, you know, that's obviously very significant. It's a lot more damage later on, but the thing is, right, the thing about that is that at that point in the game, Spiderlings aren't even as good usually. So it's like, you'd rather them good early on, I would say. So it's probably a nerf. Poisonous Thing no longer deals damage. I don't even know how much it did. And the slow's a little bit worse early on. I want to say it's a nerf, to be honest, because I think the thing is they're quite a bit stronger later on, right? But the thing is, like, once again, it's like good for split pushing Brood, you know? But it's not good for like how Brood was currently being played, which is like Orchid BKB. I'd say it's a nerf then. So yeah, I want to say this is a nerf to Brood, which makes sense because the hero was good. All right, next up we got Centaur Warrunner. The strength gain was reduced from 4.6 to 4.0. That's quite significant, right? A 0.6 decrease, but his base armor is increased by 1, and this hero only had 2 armors. That's pretty nice. Damage was increased by 20 on War Stomp and 50 more at max, which is decent. Shard now applies its strength bonus before dealing damage. That seems significant, but I don't know how popular the Shard was. I think people bought it when they got like a heart. But previous to that, I don't know if it was that good. Stampede. The Scepter damage reduction was reduced by a ton, but it now leashes affected enemies for the duration. Oh, that's pretty cool. It leashes them for the duration of the debuff, which I think is like 3 seconds if I'm not mistaken. So in the right game against heroes like Storm and Puck, if they don't have a Dispel, especially in this Kaya Sanj meta, which I don't think is gonna go away, frankly, I don't know if the meta is gonna change much in that regard. And because of that, I think what you'll see is Centaurs will pick this up against the Kaya Sanj mobility heroes, because it will allow you to set up for Hoof Stomp reliably, where blinking on them necessarily might not. But it's not really good against BKB heroes in general, right? So, yeah, and it's a big nerf to the damage reduction, but it's cool. I think it's a good idea. Overall, I would say he's probably about the same. A big strength buff at level 15, big strength talent. Chaos Strike deals 1.5 times damage to creeps. There you go, the Spirit Breaker treatment. Big, huge buff, a 50% damage buff to the crit when you proc on creeps. Means that a hero like CK who struggles to farms much faster. Definitely matters. Hero I like playing, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna try this out. Gonna have to run some Armlet CK, yeah, see how it feels. Maybe Armlet Orchid with the buff to Orchid on heroes that need mana regen, attack speed, and damage. It's really good on CK, frankly. Might have to give that a shot. That could be good. Something like Armlet Orchid BKB. Shen. Bonus movement speed increased on the creeps. Huge bonus movement speed at max. 40. Jeez. That is fast. 15 buff. Heal reduced on the ulti. Quite significant. A lot on... But it now additionally applies 20, 30, 40 HP heal per second for 10 seconds. Okay. So, okay. It's really good at level 1 now, is what I'm saying. But it gives 400 more. Okay, so it's like kind of worse at saving people against burst damage. But if the enemy team isn't bursting them, then it's better. So it's like niche better, I would say. Yeah, niche better. I would say it's really good at level 1 though. A 400 total heal in the early game, you just kind of pop it before they're dying. Like in the past, you would kind of pop it like sort of last second. Now you just pop it when they're half HP, and it's much better actually. And it's a heal, right? So you can even use it before they even drop close to low. You can even use it basically right away, and it's much more reasonable. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Clinks, channel time increased. I think it's reduced and they messed up. Channel time, unless I'm crazy, reduced, which is cool. Means it's more the same damage but quicker, which matters. Searing arrows damage level 10. That seems very significant. 20 damage channel level 10. It is searing arrows, but at the end of the day, you're using it most of the time. So I would say it's a pretty big buff. 15 searing arrows damage replaced with death pack gains creep ability. What? Only steals their first ability, which I think generally is fine. I think. In most circumstances, that's fine, I believe. Which seems really significant, because you take over an Alpha Wolf, as far as I'm concerned, you get 30% bonus damage on Clinks. And what? So you can get Hoof Stomp on Clinks? What? That's really good. It's so odd. It makes no sense, frankly, I feel, but how is Clinks' Hoof Stomp animation gonna look? Clockwork, level 20 Rocket Flare damage replaced with Power Cogs. Wow, they really are popping off on these leashes, man. A lot of leash shit, I feel. Leash units inside, that is very significant. It just straight up leashes them. That's what you're telling, like, if they're in the cogs, they're leashed. That's it. It's not a duration. Wow. That is crazy, because it's so good, because the hero's clock sucks against. I mean, to be fair, clock is a hard time getting to level 20, which is why this doesn't matter that much, I would say, on average. But when it does matter, it matters. You hookshot a PL, he just doppels out. You hookshot a Puck, he's gone. You hookshot a Quap, gone. Ember, gone. Now, these heroes, nope. You're just worthless inside of cogs. Crazy good talent. This is nutty good. This is really, really good. Crystal Maiden. Attack speed slow increase by a lot. What the? Oh my god. 75 attack speed slow back. What the fuck? Oh my god. And it's 10 more at level 1. That's so good in the lane. Arcane Aura now grants 6, 12, 18, 24 mana to all allies within a radius whenever Crystal Maiden casts a spell. Wait, is it permanent or temporarily? Is it permanent? Because that obviously wouldn't make very much sense. No way you just permanently give people mana when you cast spells next to them, because obviously you could abuse that. Dude, I don't know, man. Max the Q and cast it on people. They can't even auto-attack, dude. I think Crystal Maiden's good. And a buff to the level 10 health talent? Shit, man. I'm telling people are going to be picking Sam. I can assure you of that. And you're going to take Q at level 1 and max it. What the? And if this is as abusable as I think, and people are going to go 4-1-4 and just like give their teammates mana for some reason? What, you going to give mana? Bonus 1,000 Storm? Bonus 1,000 mana? How does this work? It can't be what I think. There's no way this is what I think. It better not be what I think. Darkseer, strength gain, okay. Better at level 1, which I'd say is a buff, but overall strength gain nerf. I'd say it's a buff because it's level 1 is really nice and important. Int gain nerf though, so I'd say overall nerf, in my opinion. Duration rescaled, it's better at max, worse at level 1, which... I kind of want to say it's a buff, to be honest, because at level 1, you don't really need the max duration most of the time unless you put it on the position 4, which sometimes you do. So it's like, I would say it's overall a buff though. I think it's a buff. Scepter bonus, okay, but the Scepter's the same, right? No, the Scepter's better, right? Because, oh no, it's the same, it's the same. Okay, it's the same. The Scepter's the same. Can now be cast on creep hero units. I didn't even know you couldn't, so it's better with like Loneseer. Loneseer, Darkseer, that's actually really powerful because that's like really obnoxious early game actually. Darkseer, Loneseer, incoming. Here, pubs, boom, boom. Normal punch. Illusion, duration rescaled. Okay, that makes sense. It was a little bit too strong. I would say Darkseer is about the same. If anything, this is a buff. Like the bonus 5 seconds on Ion Shell at max is actually really nice. Like really, really nice. So I kind of want to say this is just a buff in my opinion. I think this is a buff. Like this is a nerf, of course. Like certain things are clear nerfs, but overall I think it's a buff. Dark Willow, base HP regen increased by, okay, a little bit. Now deals 50 damage every 0.5 seconds at all levels, but it's worse, which makes sense. It was actually so strong at level 1, it's kind of crazy. True Sights over rooted targets. It did in the past, really? It's a buff, big buff against certain heroes. Now it has a fade time, really, a fade time. A fade time, nerfed to the shard, seconds per revolution decreased, but the damage was really a fade time. That's such a big nerf because like the way you have to react to certain spells now is so meh. Okay, I'm gonna say that this is a nerf because it's less damage on the Q and a fade time, which is gonna get you killed a lot for sure. So Dawnbreaker, mana cost increased from 80 to 100. Okay, it's kind of a bit. Swipe radius reduced. Smash radius increased though, so more likely to hit the bada bing. Swipe damage increased by actually a lot at max, but the smash damage was reduced. So it's a lot more of a consistent ability is what I'm getting at. This. Shard now grants free movement to Dawnbreaker. Orientation is still locked while swinging. Then what does that even mean? I don't know. I'm not even gonna. You can just buy the shard. I have no idea. Fire Trail, projectile radius increased. Return. It's actually pretty significant. It's quite a lot. 200. Projectile radius increased, so it's much easier to hit it. Return impact radius reduced. Oh. It was much bigger on return? I don't even know. Some of the stuff is so weird. Allied healing percentage increased. Wow. So if you get to the point on this hero on a core, which is I think what they're trying to do, like make it more of a core, like a more consistent core, you can heal your teammates a lot. I don't know if it's good though. I feel like this doesn't change the hero that much, to be honest. Dazzle now has what? His 2 ultimate abilities? Good and bad juju. Rework Scepter. Good Juju now also reduces all of Dazzle's item cooldowns by 50% and can be cast on an ally to reset their item cooldowns. What? 180 second cooldown? 180 second cooldown. What the? I mean, obviously that's insane because when you reset item cooldowns, that's obviously abusable with BKB, right? And like Dagon or, you know, Hex and stuff like that. Like E-Blade Hex, E-Blade Dagon, or mainly BKB, right? Okay. Cooldown reduced, so much better poison touch at max. 30 seconds is very significant. I like that. Shallowgrave now grants the target incoming heal amplification for each 10% HP. What? Incoming heal amplification for each 10% HP missing. Which means if they're missing 90% HP, they get 72% healing amplification. No? Am I missing something? There's no way that's real. So if you get graved and you're 0 HP, and you get mech'd, you basically get double the healing. Is that what that means? If you maxed, obviously it has to be maxed, but like that's gonna happen a lot of games. What? There's no way it's that good. Is this hero the best hero in the game or something? You just pair it with some sort of heal hero, which like can be weird, but that is crazy. I mean, you could just cast it on people casually as well, just to heal them, obviously. Okay, that's potentially insane. Shadow Wave. I mean, I agree, Grave is a horrible ability. This just seems like a wild buff. Shadow Wave mana cost reduced quite significantly at max by 30. The cooldown is better at level 1, a little bit worse at max, but I'd say it's a buff overall because of the laning stage. Good Juju is a passive. Whenever Dazzle casts an ability on all of his teammates, cooldowns are reduced. What? Anytime Dazzle casts an ability, all of his abilities cooldown are reduced. Anytime. Bad Juju. Whenever a unit is affected by one of Dazzle's abilities, they gain 1, 2, 3 armor for 8, 10, 12 seconds. Okay, that's about the same. Can be activated to deal 30, 40, 50 damage to all enemies and heal all allies by 30, 40, 50 HP within a 1200 HP. Okay, that's not much damage, right? But I guess it stacks or something? Oh, but it's a low cooldown, right? Okay, so it's meant to be kind of a low number, just a low cooldown. Isn't Dazzle just broken? Like, is this hero not broken? It's like a ridiculous heal core. You just go mech Holy Locket for sure, dude. I don't know, man. I'm gonna play this offlane with mech Holy Locket or Holy Locket mech. This hero might be one of the best heroes in the game. I don't know, man. This is kind of ridiculous because Poison Touch stacks, if I'm not mistaken. So you can definitely get 2 of them on people because you can get the cooldown so low by casting all of your abilities constantly. Okay, they got rid of the 20 strength talent, but to be fair, it doesn't, you know, all right, I'm gonna try Dazzle. Okay, Death Prophet, Shard Fear activation time reduced. Oh, that's a big buff to this shard. I actually really like this shard. So, okay, definitely buy Shard on Death Prophet. later on into the game after your like BKB Yules type of thing. Thunder Strike, damage reduced by 10 at all levels. Okay, this is a pretty big nerf. Shard no longer targets allies, causes all allies within the radius of Thunder Strike to gain 50 attack speed and 25% movement speed. But it can't be used on allies, so that's not that good. Glimpse, less mana at level 1. Whoa, okay, the cooldown is now 24 seconds at level 1. That is really significant. Holy. I mean, Glimpse level 1 is not that bad of an ability. It was just like kind of niche because of the cooldown, right? So you wouldn't want to take it, but okay, that is a huge buff, man. Glimpse isn't that bad at level 1. The cast range sucks, but it's not that shitty. All right. Well, okay. That's crazy. I mean, to be fair, his bigger part of the laning stage is the Thunder Strike damage reduced, but it's not like, it's definitely significant at 30 less damage, which is a lot at level 1 for sure. But the Glimpse buff, this is kind of crazy. I mean, you know, it really matters in the laning stage. People are going to be sending people back to base like crazy as well, because you're going to use it to get a kill, they're going to die, they're going to TP back in, it's going to come up again, you're going to use it again. That's like the main thing that's going to happen if you think about it. That's crazy. I can't believe I even thought about that, but that's like what's going to happen. Because like it's going to line up like that in the early game for sure, you know? So, all right. Doom, Devour, Gold, nerfed, grants him armor while digesting. Okay, so kind of going back to that route. Grants him 1, 3, 5, 7 armor, but he didn't really need the armor. I mean, 7 armor at max is a lot. That's a lot of armor. For only 10 less gold, I would take that, 7 armor. So I'm going to say a buff overall there. Infernal Blade, rescaled. So it's better early game, worse later on, because it's less percentage, more base. So it's better early game, worse later on, which I would say, I don't know, probably evens out, frankly. And Doom mana cost, I don't know. Makes Doom much better against like physical damage, but that's, the thing is he would buy armor items anyway, like you rush phase boots most games, and you'd go, I mean, to be fair, you kind of needed like Shivas later on, so it's kind of a buff. I would say it's a buff. Dragonite, Breathe Fire, okay, the damage is worse at level 1, which is kind of weird for securing creeps, but it's 20 better at max, which doesn't seem significant. The Fireball is so much DPS, actually. I think the only reason to pick Dragonite right now might be because of Fireball. 80 damage per second is a lot. Other than that, I don't think the hero's that good. It probably needed more of a buff. Drow, base strength reduced from 18 to 16, 40 less HP level 1. Range multiplier from 2 to 1.75. Okay, so it doesn't reach nearly as far anymore. Gust provides 10% movement speed buff to Drow. What, if you hit someone or just when you cast it? I mean, it's good, you know? 10% movement speed's a lot, especially when you max the spell out. The thing is, people would take stats instead of maxing it, so it's kind of weird. 40 less HP, though, in the lane, man. This hero's gonna feed. Like, it's gonna die because of that sometimes. Yeah, I mean, the Gust thing is kind of big. Like, 10% movement speed is kind of a lot, you know? So, I don't want to say it's like that big of a nerf, but like the thing is, this is like more niche than the other two things. Like, these are gonna come into play a lot more than this one, so I'm gonna say it's a nerf. Earth Spirit. Strength gain reduced. Whoa, okay, he's not the second highest strength gain in the game anymore, probably. HP regen reduced. Oh my god, so many changes. Boulders, this is insane, dude. Oh my god. Damage increased by 15 at level 1. That's, okay, it's something. It's good for securing creeps, that's for sure. Unique knockback distance, not changed by much, so okay. Cast point reduced, so it's basically 0 cast point. Okay, so I mean, it's a bit more damage early on. Cast point reduced on Rolling Boulder. That definitely matters, I would say. 0.1 to 0 usually feels like, it's like significant, right? Even though it's like only technically 0.01 difference, because it's like to 0, it means something. You'll have to test that one out. I'm sure it matters though. But the mana cost is increased by 20, which matters because you spam this spell. The roll delay was reduced though by 0.1, which definitely matters. Speed increased by 200, which definitely matters. Stone speed multiplier reduced. Okay, but that's a buff. So the multiplier, basically it's much better without using a stone, which really matters for just getting around the map, which is like especially good for like just when you max a spell out at 8, which a lot of people like doing. And the damage was rescaled from 30 to 100% strength. Wow. Okay, so it scales, it's worse. No, it's the same early on because you have quite a bit of base strength. Maybe it's slightly worse at level 1 by like 20-ish damage, but that's not really why you use the spell early game, so yeah, okay. And are you gonna have 100 strength though? I wanna say this is like, that doesn't really matter, to be honest. Okay, grip. Geomatic grip cast point was nerfed though, which is weird, but okay, it was nerfed. Mana cost reduced. Cast point increased on magnetize by quite a lot actually. So Magnetize casts quite a bit slower now. Enchant Remnant, cast range increased from 125 to 175. Has 500 cast range when cast on an ally. What? When cast on an ally? What, so people can chase people down when you magnetize them? Is that the concept? Okay. I guess you get, I mean, it's significant. It's really significant. Like if your ally's on top of someone who's running away with magnetize, you can just cast it on them instead. So that's cool. Earthshaker, 25% movement speed replaced with 50% enchant totem damage. 50%, it's already 400%. So it's like, what is that? 10%, 15% buff or something like that. I don't know if that's good. I mean, it's kind of cool on right-click shaker, but how often do people even play that? You know, not that often. Elder Titan added a second sub-ability for Ancestral Spirit. Move Ancestral Spirit. Moves the spirit towards the target location. This is equivalent to selecting the spirit and move clicking that location. I don't understand. I'll have to try that out. Ember Spirit. Sleight of Fist no longer deals reduced damage to creeps. What the? Okay. So it's really good in the lane for securing creeps now. Like really good at securing creeps. The cooldown was decreased at level 1, so it's really good at securing creeps. The bonus damage was rescaled to be much better at level 1, so this ability is just nuts at level 1 now. It's barely worse at max, by 10 damage, okay. And so Sleight of Fist is just insane now. I thought it was gonna get nerfed in some regard. No, Sleight of Fist is just nuts. Flame Guard now absorbs 70% of magical damage taken. Okay, that's fine. Absorb amount reduced from 110. Oh, I see. So they made Sleight of Fist quite a bit better for like farming. This also really incentivizes going like Deso, right? Because, you know, and the problem with Deso in the past was Sleight wouldn't really use the damage, but now it does. So you can go like right-click builds a lot more. It also makes this hero a much better safe laner because you can chip a lot more, and you can play for like farming in a weird way. Like you could buy like Falcon Blade and like go that route, but absorb amount reduced from 110 to 85, but you take the damage, right? So it's not really a good thing. Shield disables after receiving. Okay, so technically it's like a buff to like when the shield turns off, which is actually very significant. To like, so like for instance, like Flame Guard 121, like Odie's Astral does 120 damage. So now it just doesn't get rid of your Flame Guard. So like in some matchup, that's kind of hilarious. I wonder why if that's like part of the reason why they did it. There's like other examples as well, but I forget. But okay, I mean, it's kind of cool. You take some damage, but it makes the shield like quite a bit better in some matchups. So you just gotta really know the math. This is like some like Ember Spirit spammer niche. Like you gotta know this shit. Fire Remnant cast point increased from 0 to 0.1. That probably matters, frankly. And the level 10 talent on Flame Guard absorption, slight nerf. Well, actually significant nerf. Ench, a little bit of agi gain. Mana cost reduced on Impetus. Now deals double damage versus creeps. What? Oh my god, offlane Ench, dude. I already liked offlane Ench. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna max E and max Q. I'm gonna max E, max Q. I'm maxing E, I'm maxing Q. I gotta write these things down. I'll write it down after. Max E, max impetus. Farm with that shit because you can now. I'm sure, even though like it's reduced mana by a little. Like you're probably gonna have to buy like Kaya or some mana item. Probably Kaya is honestly, which sounds kind of weird, but like. I don't know, man. You can like win the early game with treads. You go like, okay, here's the build. You go like treads, wand, 3 bracers because they're gonna get double amped at minute 25. Then you just go like Kaya. What does Kaya upgrade into now? Bloodthorn. You just rush Bloodthorn. Oh, wait, right? Isn't that what it is? I don't know, something like that. I'm already theory crafting. That'll be tomorrow's video. I'm gonna go. You know, the next video I'm gonna do is the builds, right? I always love doing that. Enigma. Demonic Conversion. Turn rate improved by a lot. Attack point increase. Attack range increased. That's huge. The attack range up by 50 really matters because you can keep them in position. Now deals damage based on current HP. Damage per second rescaled to 6, 8, 10, 12% of current HP. So it's really good against high HP heroes early on, but it doesn't do very much damage if they're low. So I'm gonna say that that's a nerf, frankly. Short outer radius, that just seems like a nerf, to be honest. It's like really good. It's good as a value point now early on into the lane because it will do like quite a bit of damage, but like not by a lot. So I'm gonna say it's a nerf. Void, a little bit of base HP regen, kind of nice. Extra 30 HP per minute, definitely matters. Stroke of Fate, pretty big nerf to Stroke of Fate. Damage per unit hit though increased, so you just gotta like aim it through the creeps, but it's not by a lot, so it's not really too important. Cast point improved by 0.2, it's nice. Okay, just a nerf to Grimstroke, pretty funny. The hero's not even high win rate in pubs. It's just like a pro scene hero. Gyro, damage rescaled. Not by a lot. The missile's better at max by actually 35 damage, but worse at level 1 by 10. However, it's a much less stun at level 1 from 2.25 to 1.8, which kind of makes sense. Cooldown on flak from 24 flat to 20. This is, you know what this makes better? Offlane gyro. Wanna know why? Because I like value point flak. 4-second cooldown reduction at level 1. Sure, it's much worse on carry, but for my boy offlane gyro, much better. Hoodwink, Acorn Shot, increased projectile speed. No longer benefits twice from cast range opponent. I didn't even know that's a thing. The only thing I would note about the initial projectile speed increased on Acorn Shot being a nerf. Oh, no, it's a buff. It's a buff because you can throw the bushwhack and then Acorn Shot and it will like land. Right? So you can do it in the opposite order to like really chain stun people quickly. I mean, stun them quickly when they're in open areas. And they can't really react to the tree as quickly that way, right? You don't have to Q, they eat the tree, then your bushwhack misses. So it's a really big buff in that regard because you can bushwhack, then Q. Passive evasion rescaled. Flat 15 at level 1. Really? That is huge. Are you going to take a value point, though? At level, like, 5, I guess, is when you would take it if you're going to take it. Usually. Maybe 4. But, I mean, 15% evasion is a lot, so it's pretty good. Huskar, basically the same. What is this? Berserker's Blood also grants magic resist up to 10, 15, 20, 25% based on Huskar's HP. Well, all right, we're back to these days, except it's not that significant. It used to be up to like 70%. Now it's up to 25%. Obviously, I'm assuming it's scaling, but 25% when he's low really matters because frankly, the problem with the current Huskar he would get bursted. Now, he might not get bursted. He'll live certain nukes, which really matters. So I'm going to say this is a big Huskar buff regardless of the strength reduction. I'm going to say it's a Huskar buff. I really think it is. Invoker, however, Armlet got nerfed a little bit, not by too much. Invoker, 10 movement speed, that's a lot of movement speed. However, Wex movement speed was nerfed, so it's good for level 1 Invoker, but worse for overall Invoker, as far as I'm seeing. Alacrity mana cost increased, fair. Ice Wall buffed. Okay, I guess I get it. You know, because one spell's good, one's bad. Forge Spirit, ooh! Armor reduced per hit, rescaled from 1 to 8.5 to 1.5, affected by Exhort. Yeah, you know, this is my build. You max Exhort and Quas, you buy Drums AC on Invoker, and you reduce armor. Pog. Melting Strike no longer has 20 armor max cap, instead it has a 20 stack cap. Max armor reduction scaled from 20 to 16 to 30. Wow, we're gonna be reducing a lot of armor, boys. Watch out, speed in-houses on Twitch. We're gonna reduce crazy armor. All right. Level 15 talent, plus 1 Forge Spirit armor reduction with 450 Forge Spirit attack speed. Oh, okay. I mean, to be fair, it does make the armor reduction build kind of worse because it was a lot of armor reduction, but 50 attack speed is a lot. Here comes Quas Exhort Invoker Forge Spirit build, guys. I'm telling, nah, I don't think it's actually good, but you know, I don't know. It's kind of funny because like this is literally like only good for like the shitty build I would do in in-houses. IO, rework Shard. Passively grants IO spell lifesteal, increases overcharge spell amplification by 10, that's kind of a lot. Causes it to also share IO's current spell lifesteal with any tethered unit. Okay, I mean, IO's current spell lifesteal. What do they want you to buy, like, Bloodstone on IO? You just give your teammates 60% spell lifesteal when you activate it? It's a nerf, though, because the other IO shard was broken, frankly. It was just so stupid, so I get why they did this. They kind of had to. Heal transfer, 10% worse at max, but it's slightly better at level 1, so I would say it's a nerf, though, overall. Yeah, probably overall nerf. Scepter now causes spirits to apply 15% slow when impacting enemy heroes. Back to what it used to be, which is kind of what they seemingly are trying to show here. Buy the shard by Ags. Cooldown increased. Okay, so just nerfed. Spell amp decreased, so just nerfed. 15 damage to tethered units. Oh, okay. So level 10 talent, 30 damage replaced with 15 damage to tethered units. So it's better for support IO, but like that's not really what they're implying they want you to do with these changes. So kind of weird. 300 max attack range, placed with 45 spear damage at 15. So they want you to go axe. 45 spear damage. Isn't that like kind of like the old one? Wasn't the old one like 60? Plus 0.2 overcharge max. Oh, that's not that good. 400 health to tethered unit. That's so shitty. What the? That's it? All right. I mean, this is really pushing you to go Hell Mags. And like Hell Mags is like quite good now, right? Because it causes spirits to slow if you buy Scepter. So like you're really supposed to buy Scepter. Why do they want this hero to be a core, man? I hated that patch. Not that patch in general, but like I didn't like IO being like that. Also, like the shard just gives you 10% spell lifesteal and it makes your overcharged spell amp 10% better. So like you're just gonna shred people with nukes or something. Then you need to buy like the new E-Blade, which is like better for, I know it's better for int heroes, but I don't know. Maybe this might be too good again. I'm a little bit concerned, frankly. I hate this shit. I'm nervous. I don't know, man. Axe IO might be broken. Jakiro, base strength reduced by 2, pretty significant. Cooldown reduced, oh my god, to 21 seconds. It's okay. I honestly, I don't even think that's really a nerf. It's kind of a buff. Ice Path being better at level 1, like it was such a low cooldown, but it's so shitty when you would stun them. 0.6 seconds is quite significant, so it's kind of good. Now it deals 10 instances of damage instead of 11. I don't know. Okay, cooldown decreased. So that's just a buff, cast point. So I would say Jakiro is just still good, is what I'm taking out of this. Cast point reduced, scepter duration reduced, whatever, that doesn't really matter. Cast point reduced, which is a buff. Okay, I would say Jakiro is, I mean, 40 less strength early game matters. That's like the biggest nerf here, but other than that, I think the hero is just good. I'd still pick Jakiro for sure. Juggernaut Healing Ward, mana better at max, cooldown reduced on Omni Slash by 10. I'd say that's fair. This hero wasn't that good. Blade Fury duration at level 15. I don't know if that's that. I wouldn't say that's like generally better than 30 attack speed. Blade Dance lifesteal, what the hell? 40% Blade Dance lifesteal? So if you proc, you get some lifesteal. I guess that's pretty cool, but I don't think that's gonna make the hero good. Compared to taking it over the Blade Fury DPS talent, which is like, honestly what I thought was the good talent. This seems shitty because they got rid of your good 15 attack build talent, and then they gave the attack talent to 20. I don't know, that seems kind of crappy. I don't think Jug is probably much better than what he was. The 10 Omni Slash is good, but like, nah. I'm not sure it's good enough to make this hero like powerful, unless it's like really good for the game. Illuminate! Radius increased by 25, that's pretty good. Cast point reduced to 0, which really matters. Vision increased by a lot. What the hell? Vision increased by what the? That seems like it's gonna be a lot of vision. Spirit form reduced to 65 and pushback duration increased, which is like they're kind of stunned for 0.8 seconds. Wow, that's a lot. This seems like a lot of Coddle buffs. I don't know, man. There's a lot of buffs and like seemingly significant buffs too. Okay, maybe Coddle's pretty good. This is like a lot of buffs that seemingly just makes the hero's quality of life quite significantly better. Exxon Kunkka, cast range increased, much better at level 1. However, the cooldown's much worse at level 1. But I would say that's probably just a buff though, because, yeah, it's a buff, because you wouldn't really spam it in the early game for the most part, to be honest. So like having 150 cast range, which is really significant, is just a buff. 15 talent, 16 strength replaced with 25% X marks the spot movement speed. Affects enemies negatively and allies positively. Pretty significant, 25% movement speed, especially when you're like split pushing with this. I would say this is an overall Kunkka buff, frankly. So I thought the hero was frankly good already. Now it's also just still good. So you can pick Kunkka and go Orchid. Ooh, that could be good. Current Orchid on Kunkka. I could see that. Might be something to consider. Keep that in mind, boys. Keep that in mind. Rework Shard. Legion Commander gains 4 armor for every hero hit with overwhelming odds and 0.5 for every creep. Increases overwhelming odds duration by 8. Wow. So you really, I mean, that's really good for right-click Legion. Base damage rescaled. Oh, so it does a lot of damage at max. Oh, that's base, so it doesn't really matter. Hero damage. Okay, so it's about the same, to be honest. Yeah, so it's about the same. So they're kind of trying to get rid of this like support Legion. They gave the shard to level 25, but obviously you're not really gonna pick a hero for that in general. It's a good, it's a really good talent. The press the attack AoE at 20 is actually very significant. It's only 250 AoE, but against the right heroes, that matters a lot. So 20 talent niche, really good. This seems pretty good because you can get a lot of armor, and the big thing is you're gonna get the movement speed for a long time, and it gives a lot of movement speed. So this shard is particularly good for a like armlet phase blink BKB Legion. I would buy it most likely after the BKB is when I would say to go this. Then it's actually good, I think. So I would keep this in mind, the going like an armlet version of Legion. Even it's fine with Blade Mail as well. Leshrac, base damage increased by 3. Whoa, that's a lot. Leshrac gaining magic immunity no longer ends nihilism. Oh, I didn't even know it did, but Okay, so you can, oh, okay. So you can go BKB, oh wow, you can go BKB Nihilism, which is really significant because you can E-Blade people and be BKB'd, which basically makes you immune, practically. So, wow, that's really good. I think the Leshags could actually be good, just like going BKB Ags. It doesn't give you any mana regen, so you're gonna have to go Kaya, of course, but you know, you probably do that anyway, but like Kaya BKB Ags could be a really, really strong build on this hero. I could see it. Could be good. Lich, base agility increased by 2. Okay, in decreased. Okay, turn rate increased. How do you even come up with that? Attack speed slow, increase. It was percentage? What? 60% attack speed slow? What the hell? You'd lose 60% of your attack speed? What? Late game? If someone is a Moonshard, they just lose all their attack speed? Alright. Aether Lens Lich, man. You just sit in the back, get rid of all their attack speed? Alright. Now does his first tick of damage after casting. Mana cost reduced from 200 to 350, 500. Okay, so, wow, just max Q on Lich and spam that shit. Holy, dude, that is gonna be so good. Dude, go Aether Lens Lich, I'm telling you. Max Q, go Aether Lens. That's the build. Literally, dude, this is the build. Max Q, go Aether Lens. It's actually, unironically, extremely good in pubs, I'm sure. I'm sure. Just do that, I'm sure. Rage cooldown. Okay, just a nerf the rage cooldown. Okay, is this hero good, though? When a target afflicted by open wounds is dealt 500 damage, the wounds will fester and spread to a random other enemy within 700 radius. Practices heroes. That's the shard. What the? I don't know. This is so weird. I mean, this is like good, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, people didn't buy this. It's like a weird shard to buy. I don't know. Can't imagine this is good. Rework shard. Lena spells deal 10 more damage for each Fury Soul Charge. Wait, you can only get 3. That's not. That's it? What? Oh. Oh, okay. I see. So you can do up to 210 more damage. So, but this is incentivizing like a spell stack, right? Stack duration increased from 12 to 15, I see. Movement speed per charge is much less, so you really have to like build it up, right, and keep it going. Attack speed, okay, I see. Now gains a charge whenever a spell damages an enemy. Oh, an enemy. An enemy? What? Oh, and an enemy. So you can get 2 charges then. So when you now gains a charge whenever a spell. Is it only when a spell damages an enemy, or also when a spell damages an enemy? Because if this is also when a spell damages an enemy, then it's actually quite good, because you just take your Q, you get 2 stacks right away, and I think it's like overall, no, it's overall about the same actually. So it's kind of just a nerf. I mean, the thing is, it can save you mana because you don't have to cast it as much when you get it maxed out at 7. The shard's kind of cool, but it's like 70 more damage on your Q. It's not, this is weird. It's weird. It's like good for your mana pool later on, but if you mess up and lose your stacks, it's a feels bad, man. That's what I'll say. It's a really big feels bad, man. If you mess up, it's a really big feels bad, man. Lion, Finger of Death, mana cost reduced from 200. Okay, so all right, whatever. Who cares? Okay, so if you buy the Ags early on, it's better now, which is pretty important. Mana drain reveals invisible units. All right, that's pretty significant. I mean, it can matter. I would say it usually won't, but it can matter. Lone Druid, Spirit base damage increased by 8, that matters. Root by 0.25, that matters. Damage interval reduced, okay. Damage deals damage immediately when applied, okay. I didn't know. Entangle damage per second rescaled from 60 to 30, 40, 50, 60. Total damage reduced, not by a lot. This is definitely just a buff. 8 damage on the Spirit Bear is freaking massive. That is gonna help you last hit, like a lot, so that really matters. Now also shares Lone Druid's armor with the Spirit Bear and vice versa. Wow. Oh, that's a lot. 25% of the armor. That's really big, actually. That's really, really big. Dying while casting True Farm does not put the ability on cooldown. That is also huge, because you can panic use this ability. You would have to be careful about panic using it in the past, but now if you're dying, you just 100% use it. You take the chance. So, yeah, big buffs. Huge buffs to Lone Druid, I would say. Huge buffs. So, I'd be careful about this hero. Could be really annoying. It was already annoying, but like, it was kind of weak. Now, these are big buffs. So I would keep my eyes out for this hero. Luna, Shard will now target the nearest creep if no heroes are nearby. Okay, it's kind of good for like farming and dragging creeps to you. They nerfed to 15 talent though, so not that good. Yeah, I wouldn't say it changes much. Damage decreased from 11. Okay, so pretty big nerf to max like and 4% less. Duration reduced from 20 to 25, 3 seconds less on the ulti hurts. Nerf to the 10 talent, 20% howl attack damage reduction. So And to be fair, Howl can reduce damage by like 80% or something stupid. So like, I guess this hero against right clickers is still kind of insane. If you Howl, they just lose all their damage if you take this 10 talent. But the problem is it's kind of a weird talent to take over Summon Wolves. It's kind of niche, so overall, definitely some like and nerfs overall. Definitely like and nerfs. Reworked Magna Scepter increases Shockwave range by 150 and radius by 50. Shockwave now erupt after 1.5 seconds, dealing an additional 50% of Shockwave's base damage and applying a debuff that slows and reduces base armor by 50%. Affected units recover over 5 seconds. Recover. So, okay, so it gets slightly better. The thing is, it's really good against certain heroes, is what I would say. Overall, shit. Honestly, if I had to imagine, probably crap. But against like Morphling or TV, if you can reduce their base armor by 50%, that is pretty massive. So in the right game, it's okay. In general, I'm going to say probably garbage. Marcy, added Aghanim Scepter. Here we are. Reduces Unleash cooldown by 10 seconds. Okay. While Unleash is active, this is her ultimate. Marcy's abilities trigger Unleash pulses. Oh, the pulse, which is like a decent amount of damage. Thing is, usually you initiate and then hit, so it's like kind of meh. I mean, I don't see how you could buy this over most right-click items. Seems kind of trash. Added Shard, Rebound can be set. Late game, it's good though. If you get to the level 25 talent, when you silence, you could technically silence people for like 6 seconds, but like, a lot of silences are that long anyway, so, and they're purgeable. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say the axe is kind of trash. Rebound can be set to auto-cast to throw the target instead of rebounding on them. Off them. Rebound can no longer target enemy units. Ally movement speed bonus increased by to 45%. Holy dude. If you're in rebound radius, you just zoom. Pulse damage slightly decreased. Okay, a lot by max, but like at that point, you're generally using your right-click damage. So I think Marcy's just really good, right? I think this hero is quite good. You can't target enemy units with rebound, which definitely matters a lot. That one's quite a nerf, but I think you can kind of play around that. 45% movement speed, man. When you get affected by rebound, holy dude, you actually just zoom, unironically. Okay, I think this hero's good, is what I'd say. Mars, strength gain increased from 3.4 to 3.7, cooldown increased. Okay, so a bit of a nerf to the spear. Spear damage reduced, okay. They messed that up, that's funny. Can no longer be escaped vertically, okay. So that's a big nerf to, I mean, it's a big buff to Mars in a lot of matchups. I think Night Stalker, Slark Pounce, Leap, I think, Toss, or like if someone was like Earth Spiked, they could get pushed over, or Toss, they could get pushed over. It's like really nice in some situations, so it's a buff in some circumstances, but it's not a mistake. It's just like a weird, it's like a weird usage of, they probably should have fixed that, but, or like changed that, but okay. I would say Mars is about the same. It's a bit of nerf to spear that definitely matters. Like the 1 second can lose you a kill in the late game, so bit of a nerf, but it gained a bit of strength gain. So I want to say Mars is about the same, frankly. Medusa, Mana Snake, mana cost reduced to 140 flat, so more of a reason to max it, which is actually a buff in the lane. The hero has some mana problems. Cold-Blooded is now disabled by break. Okay, I didn't know that wasn't the case. No longer activates if the spellcaster is further than 2,000 units away. Gonna say that usually won't come into play. Buff to the attack speed talent at 10. Evasion replaced with mana 0.5 mana shield damage per mana. Is that good? Okay, so potentially, I mean, the thing is you're just gonna take attack speed most of the time because like that's just a good talent. But this also makes you really tanky. Mana shield damage per mana. That seems really good actually. It's a 20% buff, which is a lot. So I don't know. 15 talent attack speed with split shot damage penalty. All right, this is particularly good when you go like a hard right click Dusa build, which often you will. So I would say this is a pretty big buff. 12%, you know, damage extra on the hits is good. So taking the 20 attack speed talent at 10 and then this split shot talent at 15 is gonna make you hit really hard. The Dusa, this hero was good, man. I feel like it's just still good. Okay, so this is probably the biggest nerf. 30% Mystic Snake mana gain replaced with 2 Mystic Snake bounces. The reason why, even though it seems kind of decent, people are gonna be like, oh my god, with the axe, I can bounce this off 10 units. Even though, like, you know, it seems like it could be good, I would say in general this is bad because, like, sometimes in order to just get some mana back, you would just chuck it at the first 2 people you'd see or first person you see. So definitely a nerf here. The other one is Stone Gaze Duration, which is actually a decent talent. It was just so, like, it just could never be taken because, you know, the 30% Mana Snake was just so busted. So I think you actually consider taking the Stone Gaze duration now. I wouldn't say this is a nerf to the hero. I feel like Medusa's still good, but to be fair, her level 20 talent was a big spike, and now it's not. And Cold-Blooded can be nerfed, but I don't know. I really like Daedalus Medusa. You know, this is a big buff to like Daedalus Medusa in games where you can just flash farm and get to that timing. So, yeah. Meepo, strength gain increased a lot. Agi gain increased a lot. Int gain increased a decent amount. Clones no longer benefit twice from power trait stat bonuses. Clones no longer benefit twice from level stat bonuses. Okay, I actually thought that was the best build, so they nerfed that. You could take stats and the clones would just become huge. Passively grants magic resist to meepos. Okay, only 5% at max at level 1 though, but 15 at max is good, and you get to max like relatively quickly, so significant. Earthbind, mana cost buffed. Dig, that's like the shard or some shit. This hero's just still crap, man. There's no way this is good. Mirana, agility rescaled. Oh my god. Okay, 6 extra agi at level 1. That is a lot. Because that gives you a bonus 1 armor and a lot of attack speed in the laning stage. Bonus 1 armor reduced, same starting armor. Okay. I see. And, okay, what? Okay, so she just gets less agi, but she has 6 extra damage. Okay. Average damage increase. So she got a slight damage buff at level 1. This is so odd. Okay, slight damage buff. They probably were just afraid of giving Mirana a general damage buff because her attack speed is so high. Or something like that. That is so odd. I don't know. That's so odd. A big buff to Starstorm at max. What? Isn't this hero just like good still? Or better? She lost some agility gain, but that's it. Like, this hero is good. And this is just a big buff to your mana, which, like, Mirana has mana problems. That's just a big buff. It's like an overall, it's even 10 better at level 2, which is like quite significant. Rework Shard grants sleep charges. Sagan pounces, sagging my nuts on your face, dealing 150 damage in a forward cone to units within a 500 range of Mirana, slowing them. I mean, oh, so every time you pounce it does damage? I mean, that's kind of cool for like support Mirana. That's like pretty cool. You can like pounce on, because you hit an arrow, you pounce on them, you back up, you pounce. I mean, it's good for support Mirana for sure. It's an extra leap charge. So I'd say it's nice. It's like nice to just have the option to buy an extra leap charge. Tree Dance, vision reduced. It's fair. It's probably too good. Scepter now also gives Soldier the ability to increase their Jingu mastery stat. What? So, what? So they can get Jingu? The Ag Scepter? Guys? I don't know if that's good. It seems like a nerf. The Ags isn't even that good. Rework Scepter. Replicate steals 20% of each stat from the replicated hero. If the replicated hero's primary attribute is strength, it will also steal 35% status resist. If it's agi, it will steal 50 attack speed and int 20%. Spell reduces replicate cooldown by 20. What the hell? Replicates. So you can't use it on allies, but what the hell? 35% spell amp. Does it give it to you only if you're into them, or just in general? What? 50 attack speed. I mean, if you have to stay in that hero to get the status resist, it's not as good, right? But if you just can turn back into Morphling and have 35% status resist, that is ridiculous. Even 50 attack speed or spell amp is also insane. This could be nuts, because it also reduces the cooldown by 20, which is a lot. So, kind of crazy. Naga, Riptide, increased by actually a lot of level 1, considering it procs on the illusions, right? No longer triggers on a random chance, now triggers every 5 attacks on an enemy by Naga and Armage. I want to say that's an overall nerf, because, I mean, it really pushes you to attack, like, build attack speed, which, like, you can, so, like, go Orchid, right? Because you don't want to go Diffusal now, because, like, you really need attack speed, and Diffusal doesn't give very much attack speed. So, I think, like, the build to go on this hero is, like, Manta, it's like Midas, frankly. You go, like, Midas, Manta, Orchid, if I had to say. If, like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I mean, it does more damage, but it's less at max. I don't think this is good. 5 attacks, man. Just to proc Riptide? Like, it would definitely proc every 5 attacks anyway, usually more. That just seems like a nerf to a hero that, I don't know, man. This seems shit. Hey, my boy, yeah! Turn rate improved! That's what I'm talking about, baby! 0.3. I don't know how significant that is, but let's go! Mana cost rescaled. Okay. It's more at level 1, which kind of sucks, because that's when it's the biggest problem, so that's a nerf. Definitely, kind of hurts. Shrink base damage rescaled. Reduced! No! Why? To what? 2 less if you roll high. That kind of sucks. 3 less at level 2? 5 less at max? 5 less flat at max? And you have 5 treants, so that's 25 damage every round less? Alright, what else do we got? Mana cost reduced. Okay. Whatever. 20 damage with 8 second nature cold. 8? Whoa, 8. And it's 35, so it brings it down to 27. I'm definitely going to take that over the other talent, that's for sure. That could be really good, actually. I like this quite a bit. Because I don't even like the 20 damage talent a lot. Like, I like playing Prophet around just having items and, like, splitting with the call. So, I like that a lot. 20 talent to Sprout mischance increased to 100%. Holy shit. Oh my god. Or Sprout leashes. What the Oh, you know I'm buying Octarine on this hero. You know I'm buying Octarine on this hero. People would flame me because I'd go Orchid, BKB, Drums, Octarine, or Octarine to split. But now, my Nature's Cold cooldown is going to be like 0 with Octarine because it's already down by 8. So it's going to go down, instead of going down to like 25, which it is now, it's going to go down to like 20. And then if a right clicker is an issue, I go 100% chance to miss if I Sprout them, 100, or I leash people, which is crazy because Prophet's counters often are the heroes that you like can't control, right? So now I can leash them. How long does it leash for? I'm testing this out, I don't care. How long does it leash? That's it? Or is he still leashed? He's still leashed, right. Wait. Where did Axe go? He exploded. Okay. Why did that happen? Alright, What? No way. Oh my god. No way, it's a perma leash. Oh! That is insane. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. What, dude? You're gonna have to buy phase boots against Prophet or like 4-stab. Holy shit. This is such a counter, especially to like Puck and Quap. I just put it on top of you. Even if you have status resist, I just hard counter you. Oh my god. Against Terrorblade and all the illusions, I just make you miss on. Oh, this is. What is the CDR of this? It's 25, right? 29, my bad. 29, which just still makes the Octarine better because the higher cooldown, the better the 25%, which means it goes down to 21. Holy shit. We're running it. I know they do less damage, which kind of sucks. We're running it. I like it. All right. I can go with this. I can make this work. This gives me options. And hey, that's why I like the hero in the first place. Options. This is options. I like this. I like this. All right. Cool. Necro no longer increases enemy death timers. Killing an enemy now grants him HP regen and mana per second permanently. Wow, and that's a lot of mana permanently. So I kind of like that actually because I feel like the hero, you're better off if you just like or become like scale yourself. I feel like the cooldown wasn't like it was annoying, but it wasn't. I mean, it mattered, of course. I don't know if this is good though. Is this enough HP regen? To be fair, if you get a lot of stacks, you can get a. I mean, realistically, you're gonna get a lot of kills with this, right? So the thing is, does it scale up retroactively, right? Like if you get a kill at level 1, does it give 3, or when you level it up, does it scale up? Because that definitely would matter quite a lot. So I wonder how it scales, but I mean, it's cool. I don't think this is gonna make the hero very good, but it's cool. Night Stalker, agility gain reduced, cast point reduced. That's actually big. So no, that's huge actually. That's huge because you can just like insta cast it, which really matters. It's like a huge quality of life. Dark Ascension. Okay, so they nerfed his 10 talent though. I feel like this hero is probably about the same. However, this is a big nerf. 2 seconds. It matters quite a bit. Crippling Fear cooldown at 20 could be really strong. I forget what the other talent is though. Nyx Impale Impale reduced at level 1. Pretty big nerf. Nerfed at max, but much better at level 1. So it's a much better harass spell. Okay, it's much better harass spell. Not really actually. Okay, so that seems like a nerf as well. Vendetta, Shard now increases total incoming spell damage, increases targets, increased spell damage by 17%, and, okay, so just if you hit them with Vendetta, they take 17% more damage. Now applies the debuff before the damage. Oh wow, so your ulti, okay, so the Shard's pretty good actually, because 17% buff on just all incoming damage makes this Shard very flexible, and it makes your ulti do 17% more damage, so this seems like a nerf to Nyx though, like, this is like so, I don't know, this is such a big damage nerf on the W. But it burns the mana though. It burns the mana, right? So that's good in the lane. So, I mean, it's kind of cool. You can take mana burn to burn their mana because you can spam it because it doesn't cost that much and it's a much lower cooldown. So if you want to burn mana in certain lanes where heroes have mana problems, it's actually very good. So I could see this hero, you know, I don't know. Nyx is still good. That's all I'm going to say. It's still a good hero. That's for sure. Fire Blast, mana cost, okay, so they increased the mana cost, but only at max. Cooldown increased on Ignite by 2 seconds, which is quite a nerf, but they didn't get rid of the Ignite. Really? They didn't really change it that much. So this hero is just still good. What does this mean? If you auto attack, you can Fire Blast 17% of the time? That would be so goofy. So can you just chain stun by auto attacking? Because then in multicast, what in the world? This is ridiculous, potentially. I don't think this hero is much worse. I mean, this hurts a lot for sure, but still, I think this hero's good. Okay. Kind of wanted it to be nerfed, but okay. Same thing with Bane. Why is he still good? Omni Knight, int rescaled. Rework Shard grants Degen Aura. Lol. Oh, huh. So what did he get now? Okay, so your Shard is just Degen Aura. 40% flat, which is good if you're going that route. No longer grants status resist, is now applied to Omni Knight if casted on an ally. Wow. It grants an additional strength HP regen for each debuff dispelled. Well, that's not that useful because that's like niche. It's like cool in the lane, right? Because like it's like some heal in the lane is like what this is, right? I mean, it's like a good laning ability, kind of. Yeah, it's like a good, it's a good laning ability, right? Because especially if you like dispel stuff in the lane, you get a lot of HP regen. It actually could be really good in the lane. So maybe you're just supposed to pick this hero to lane then. But it doesn't grant status resist at all, which is a nerf. Even though it can be dispelled, it's still a nerf. Okay, now Hammer Purity is a spell. It's 50, 60, 70, 80 mana. Kind of a lot for Omni, but not too bad at level 1. Cast range, 350 cast range. Speed projectile, cast point. Damage is 60 to... It's a 50 base damage spell, which is pretty good in the lane. What's the cooldown? Oh, okay. It just doesn't say the cooldown. But it does like quite a bit of just damage straight up. Like, it's a good harassing spell in the lane, for sure. Because it has a big cast range, right? So every 10 seconds you can do bonus base damage. Every 10 seconds you're gonna do about like 80 damage, which is like quite significant because it also slows for 40%. And I think it heals you, right? No, it doesn't heal you. It just does damage and slows, but it's a significant slow and it's only 50 mana for 5 seconds of slow, which is a lot. So this hero's an offlaner, right? Because you like max this out and run around and hit people with it. And then, yeah, it's an offlaner. I think you're an offlaner. So they're trying to make Omni an offlaner. He might be really good actually. Because this is like obnoxious in lane. Every 10 seconds you just bop them. And it does like 80 damage and slows them constantly. And then you heal, and then you heal again. So like you're basically this just obnoxious run around heal guy. But you're not that hard to kill because you don't have status resist. So like, I don't know. Well, I'm curious to see how annoying this will be in lane. I think the answer is like not annoying enough for it to be good, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. It's a very significant slow at max, like very significant. So there's that. But you don't really want to max this, I think, because it doesn't go down in cooldown when you max it. It goes up in mana, which is inconvenient in the lane. Don't do that much base damage early on, and like you kind of need to farm. So I think the build is 1 point in this, max purification, 1 point Heavenly Grace. It's either 141 or 411, something like. I think it's probably 411, frankly. And you go off lane. Oracle. Cooldown on Fate's Edict, nerfed by 1. Duration increased though, so it's easier to heal with. So you can get a double heal off at level 1 is the concept, so it's a buff, I would say. Mana cost reduced, so okay, it's better at max. It's nice. Rework Scepter grants Reign of Destiny, brings forth rain on a 650 unit area for 10 seconds. Enemies standing in the area receive 50 damage per second and have minus 25% heal amp. Allies heal 50 health per second and have 25% increased heal amp. That seems dog in almost all situations. I would not recommend buying that scepter at all. That seems shit. Outworld Devourer, Arcane Orb. Current mana has damage from 16 to 13, 14, 15, 16. Fair. Mana cost reduced. Okay, fair. So the hero is much worse at level 1. Seems very reasonable to me. I like these nerfs. People are going like, oh my god, it's not enough of a nerf. I don't even think this hero is that busted. And they hardcore nerf the Meteor Hammer in terms of damage. So overall, I would say a big nerf of this patch to Odie. Very fair. Pango! Damage increased by a significant amount. Armor reduction rescaled. So not a lot of armor reduction on level 1. That doesn't seem that good. Okay, that just seems like a nerf. Slight buff to SWAT. That doesn't... Okay, so the hero's about the same. Okay. Phantom Assassin. Mana cost increased. Okay, this hero is about the same. Stifling damage. Stifling dagger damage kind of matters, I guess. but not really. Phantom Lancer, Phantom's Edge cooldown. What is that, the Axe? This has got to be where Valve got like tired or something. I don't know. This is like the Axe, right? Phantom's Edge, Phantom Edge. I have no idea. Phoenix, a little bit of strength, some movement speed, nerfs. Okay. A bit of a buff to the fire spirits. Big buff to the fire spirits to max. Holy shit. Big Phoenix buff. Okay, might try this as a core actually. Definitely better as a support too, but wow, that is a huge buff to the Phoenix. Huge buff. And mana cost buff. Okay, Phoenix is bad. I like this hero. I like this hero already. I'm definitely gonna run Phoenix. I like this hero. And a huge buff there. I'm running Phoenix, dude, for sure. Phase shift. Oh my god. Max channel time increased. Rework shard causes phase shift to attack all enemies within attack range plus 200 radius of puck. Attack range plus 200 radius of puck. Oh, that's very significant. Okay, so the shard is phase shift attack, which is actually really strong. It's like a really strong like concept phase shift attack. So that seems like a really good shard because not very expensive for I think what it is. Cooldown on Waning Rift buffed. Rework Scepter. Waning Rift now has 150 extra radius and range and knockbacks enemy 400 distance. That's the Axe now? What the hell? No one's gonna buy that. Why? It was the shard. Okay, so all I'm getting out of this is Puck is extremely... I actually think Puck is gonna be nuts good. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna go Witchblade into like Orchid, into like Witchblade, Blink Orchid, something like this. You're gonna go right click build or Deso, you know? And you're gonna play around the right click and the shard, because you can just buy the shard now. And the silence is straight up better at level 1. Phase shift is just better at level 1. I mean, the biggest nerf here to Puck is that you can't play Puck around the Axe. They just don't, I mean, which is a nerf because the Axe is pretty insane, to be fair. So, but the Dream Coil got slightly buffed. Illusory Orb cooldown at 10, that's a big buff as well. So now you have a good level 10 talent, so that's a buff. Waning Rift damage, that's a nerf, but I think you take Dream Coil cooldown maybe? I mean, the 15 talents aren't great, I would say, but Dream Coil cooldown's kind of nice. 65-second cooldown, it's pretty good. Because you can get that early, right? And 65 seconds on Dream Coil is pretty nice. So maybe you take that. 100 Waning Rift damage isn't bad. It's you know, it's solid. And Dream Coil Rapid Fire at level 25 is a hard buff. Wow, man. I'm telling you, right click Puck is good for sure. I think a lot of people are gonna run just like Witchblade and Blink Deso. If you're gonna play Puck, I think that's the route you go now. Pudge, base armor reduced by 1. What the hell? Int gain, okay, it doesn't matter. No longer grants magic resist. Bonus strength per death reduced. So you don't get a lot of, okay, so you get less strength by quite a bit. Can now be cast to grant damage block against all types of damage for 7 seconds. The cooldown is 30. Can be cast while channeling. So you can get, but you don't get magic resist at all, which is significant, very, because of your E. You lost an armor. This seems shit. Am I wrong? I mean, like, 20 damage block is a lot, but you constantly have less magic resist when farming, and when you take the value point, you have less just straight up magic resist, and if it's close to 20, you get less bonus strength by a decent amount. You have a bit of int, but you lose an armor, and like that's a problem for Pudge. So I think this is not good. But 20 damage block is a lot, and it's for 7 seconds, so I don't know. I want to say this is a nerf. I don't think this makes Pudge. The thing is, here's the thing. If you manage to get the hood, okay, later on it's probably better, right? So I think this has its timing, but like overall, I feel like it's not good. That's my take. Decrep, mana cost increased, can be cast while channeling. Wow, holy that is huge because you can cast Decrep when you're channeling, which definitely comes into play. I can tell you that for sure. No longer heals 2 hits whenever an anime casts a spell, or reduces enemy spell damage. What? You reduce enemy spell damage by 25 flat for just in the aura at max? What? That is insane. Because it's a huge aura, 25%. What? I mean, they nerfed the mana cost, but that's fine. Rework Shard. Life Drain can target your Nether Ward, causing Life Drain to refract to all enemy heroes in range of the Nether Ward for 70% of its damage. The effect is interrupted if the ward is destroyed. Increases Nether Ward cast range by 350. That's actually, I mean, that sounds kind of cool. You put it in the middle, you just suck everyone, and it heals you, of course. This is huge, man. This is such a buff. Obviously, you have to kind of protect it, because Nether Ward doesn't heal at all anymore. But, like, if you get off a good Nether Ward, it just wins the game. Oh my god. I mean, this shard is kind of cheesy. I don't think it's that good. But the thing is, the reason why it's solid is because you can cast a Crep while channeling. So you can put down a nether ward, click your life drain on the nether ward, and then decrep whoever walks in range. And I think you go BKB, like Aether BKB or something like that. Kind of crazy. This could be good. This is great. What? Shard damage reduced from 175 to 125. Mana cost increased from 85 100. Okay, so a nerf to the shard damage, which hurts your ability to clear waves a lot. Mana cost increased a lot. Damage. Oof. Oh, but the damage was no. That's reduced. They messed up. And the damage. Okay, that's a lot of quad nerfs. That hurts a lot. Is this hero still good? I don't know. I want to say, I feel like this is the biggest thing. You're gonna have mana problems early on. They didn't nerf bottle, did they? I don't know what they changed about the map because I haven't read it yet. But cannot be cast on the target that is already linked. Oh, that's fine. I didn't know you could do that. You could link with a refresher. What? I didn't even know. 20 in talent, 21% storm surge movement speed. What the hell? You're gonna zoom, dude. The problem is the other talent is the Storm Eye talent, but 21% movement speed. What the? All right, static link charges at 25, which you can refresh, so you can get 4 static link charges. So I guess what they're going for here is that you take this talent and you buy right click, like sort of right click, and then but you're still gonna go BKB refresher, I think, and then you're gonna go AC and you're just gonna run around with 4 static links, which is kind of hilarious. Ricky. Strength gain increased. Mana cost decreased. No, rescaled. Okay. Blink Strike slows by 100% by a lot at max, which is a huge buff early game. Mana cost increased, whatever. Sleeping Dart is dispellable. That seems reasonable. That shit was so annoying. So big buff to right click carry because this is huge. So it's a buff to like your mid right click carry for sure. How good is it? It's honestly very significant. It's a big slow. It's gonna let you get off like an extra 2 auto attacks, which is a lot early game, so it's a pretty big buff. Rubik! Lift is actually decent at level 1 now, and better at max, so that's pretty big. Cooldown reduced from 20, 15, 10, what the hell, to 4 at max. That is huge. Aghanim Scepter no longer reduces cooldown. Aghanim Scepter now lets you steal 2 spells. If you steal a spell with 2 sub-abilities like Sunray, it will take both your spell slots. So they couldn't, what? That's a huge buff. What the shit? So this, I mean, this is insane, dude. Like, Rubik just straight up has a 4-second cooldown on max, which is insane. Like, in and of itself, like, this in and of itself is a massive buff. And the Ags is crazy. You can steal 2 spells. Steal a spell with 2 sub-abilities, it will take both your spell slots. That's pretty funny. So, like, they didn't want to code all the shit, so certain abilities are just not good. This is insane. What a buff. Wow, huge Rubik buffs. This hero is going to get, every Rubik's member is going to spam this hero now. Because this is just insane. You don't have to buy Ags if you get to level 8. People are going to play this mid like fucking crazy. It's going to be obnoxious. You're going to see Rubik mid Ags, Aether Ags every game. Sand King, base armor increased by 1. It's nice. Damage interval increased. Mana cost rescaled, but that's pretty significant, kind of. Okay, so just armor to Sand King, basically. Demonic Cleanse is now granted as a secondary ability with Aghanim Shard. Repeatedly applies a basic dispel on a target allied unit, removing negative buffs for the duration. At the end of the duration, the unit is healed. Units under the effect of disruption can still be affected by Demonic Cleanse. I see. So now you can just use your ult offensively, and you can get Demonic Cleanse as your shard, and you can dispel your teammate, which is quite nice. Oh, no, it's just a second ability. Oh, and you can get 3 of them. Wow, that's kind of crazy. So Shard Ags is just a nuts timing on this hero then. I would definitely try to go Aether Shard Ags. If you can hit that timing, holy, dude, the impact is going to be nuts. Unless I'm misunderstanding how the charges work. Maybe they share. Necromastery. Shard now fears for 0.5. It's decent out of Shadowblade. That makes the Shard better, especially out of Shadowblade, like I was saying. Now applies debuff of magic resist after dealing its damage. That's the ulti, after dealing its damage. But that's a big buff to the Ags in particular. But in general, that's really nice. That's a really big buff to Requiem. Shadowy stack damage. That's pretty significant. But you lose Spell Amp, so it's not good. Okay, never mind. Shackles! Damage reduced at max. Now heals Shaman. What the Mid Shaman, baby, yeah! Creep hits to kill Serpent Wards increase from 2 to 4. That's a big buff. Towers and Heroes still killing 2, but that's a big buff. Because creeps would just own your wards if you put them down next to a creep wave, or like illusions. Maybe illusions still do, but that's a big buff. This is weird as shit. But I mean, mid shaman, huh? Max Shackle heal? It's a bit cheesy. This is kind of weird. I feel like it's not good in general, but I mean, it's a big heal, to be fair, so mid shaman or something. I don't know. Off lane, or it's just fine as a support? Okay. Arcane Curse is more mana. Shard now increases int stolen on kills by 2. That's really strong. So right-click Silencer coming to pubs near you. Sky Wrath. Big buff to the Q. Buff to the W at level 1, which I'd say is a buff. No, it's just a buff overall. Oh, big nerf to the E, though, which is my favorite build. So huge nerf to the E. A slight buff to the L. So what I'm seeing here is that they're trying to incentivize you not to take the E now. But at the same time, you kind of want to take it because it scales up to 35. I think the skill build is still going to be 114, frankly. You'll just have to deal with the damage nerfs. But the thing is, it's not that much of a damage nerf because these spells do more damage. It is a damage nerf, though, for sure, by a decent amount. So I don't know. I don't really know what this implies, to be honest. I feel like it's like a buff to level 1 Sky, sometimes level 2 Sky if you go this route, but then a nerf overall. It's weird. It's weird. Sprint passive river reduce. Target leaves water trails for 8 seconds behind them. No way. Oh, that's a big buff. Because you just sprint like crazy when you ulti someone. Oh, that's a buff. That's a huge buff, actually. Wow, big slaughter buff. Okay, cool. Bonus strength reduced on Slark. Alright, I mean base. Pounce does damage on contact. I don't really know why that's impactful. Latch radius increased. Okay, so it's much easier to pounce. Nah, this hero still sucks. Don't pick Slark. Scatter blast. Damage. More damage at level 1, which is really good. Oh, but it's a higher cooldown. Still, I'd say it's good. About the same mana. The shard increases the point blank damage by 35%. I don't know if that's significant. Okay, it's about the same. I would max my nukes. This seems like a big nerf. So max nukes, and this hero is pretty good. That's what I'd say. Sniper! Taking mana cost increased. Cooldown on concussive grade. What the hell? Okay, what? Desolate. Search radius reduced from 425 to 400. Damage increased by not much. Okay, I'm gonna say Spectre's still garbage, if I had to guess. Okay, Spirit Breaker, the hero everyone complains about. I don't think it's that bad, but people hate it. Mana cost increased from 100 to 120. Movement speed reduced. Not by a lot, basically by nothing. Status resist. Barely nerf. People are gonna complain so much, because this is barely a nerf. That's funny. It's a buff at level 1 too. Lol. I respect it. This hero is not that bad, man. You guys are overreacting. I'm telling you, dude. It's not that bad. Just buy it, heals. Storm! A little bit of agi, a little bit of... Oh, base mana regen. 30 extra mana per minute. That's good. And more attack speed. That's good. Okay, so just some storm buffs. Pretty big storm buffs at that. Okay. And a 20 attack speed talent. That was a level 10 talent? What the hell? Oh, I see. They nerfed the mana regen talent. So a bit of a nerf in that regard. But you got the mana regen anyway. And like... This is definitely a buff, I'd say, overall, so, whatever. Electric Vortex damage? Why would anyone take Electric Vortex damage? Am I missing something? Is this a mistake? Sven, agility gain increased from 2 to 2.2. Scepter now also dispels the target. That kind of matters. Warcry is undispellable and grants 5 armor. Whatever. 15 talent God Strength cooldown. That's really significant. That's the biggest buff to Sven, by far, out of all of these. I don't really think you're going to want to buy the Ags, but... The 15 God Strength cooldown, holy. That's a huge buff, actually, so maybe Sven's quite a bit better now. I already did techies. Psyblade. Spill range rescaled to just a flat. Okay, so it's a nerf to the, it's a nerf to the Dragonlance timing, but it's better in the lane, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay, so you don't get attack range. So basically what they did is they made it where Psyblade's better in the lane again, I think. But you don't get the attack range, which is a nerf, I'd say, overall. I think. Yeah, I think it's a nerf overall, because a big buff to this hero was the fact that you would just get an attack range talent of 15, which you just don't get anymore, I think. Terrorblade, agility gain reduced from 4.4 to 4. Base attack speed increased by 10, that's a lot. I'd say that's probably a buff. That's a lot of attack speed at level 1. Mana cost reduced. Wow, you can really spam illusion at level 1. Slight nerf to the duration at level 1, but that's a buff overall. Well, alright, it's like the same. That's a big buff to the illusions, man. Because they're 10 attack speed higher and much less mana. So you can spam illusions in the lane. People might not even take meta at level, like, they might not take meta till like 3 in some lanes. You just spam the hell out of the illusions. It's kind of crazy. Tide, less damage block at 1, more at max. I'd say it's about the same. Short, okay, whatever. Buff to the Whirling Death base damage at level 1 and at max. Primary, okay, but it's worse in terms of cooldown, but it scales up, which is definitely a nerf overall because you don't want to scale this if you don't have to. And the primary attribute was nerfed to 12 overall, so big nerf to Whirling Death on Timber, I would say. Yes, it does a bit more damage, but like that's not, it does damage based on trees really, is like how you do damage with it. So huge nerf actually, because you're losing 4% of the stat shit, which is like kind of the biggest part of the hero, and you don't want to scale it, so you lose the value early on. And a nerf to Flamethrower, so pretty big Timber nerfs, I'd say. The hero is still fine, but definitely nerfs. Tinker, base damage reduced by 2, status resist, huge nerfs on the defense matrix, especially at level 1. Channel time nerfed quite a bit at level 2, wow, by a lot at level 2 and max, especially at level 2.5, man, that's rough. And the nerf to laser damage, which is a big deal as well for farming and securing creeps and like clearing stuff, especially when it's maxed. Big nerf there. New ability granted by Shard throws a grenade towards unit, 50 damage, teleporting it 600 units away from Tinker, reducing their attack range. Their cast and attack range by 40% for 3 seconds. Okay, that's so weird, dude. I mean, it's like kind of cool, I guess, because you can like get people away from you, but I think the counters won't really care most of the time, because if they get on top of you, they get on top of you. So I think this is like generally shitty if I had to guess. Oh, and you lost the Keen Convoyance at 15. These are big ass Tinker nerfs. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think this hero is nearly as good. This is a lot of nerf. Tiny. Stun duration increased by from 0.2 to 0.3. That's a lot because it's like ticks, right? It's like 3 or 4. Bonus damage multiplier. Oh my god. This hero is really not meant to burst people. Damage rescaled on toss. It's about the same. No longer deals bonus damage to a toss unit. Grab radius increased, so it's easier to toss. Grants 100, 200, 300 damage bonus to toss. So okay. So when you hit level 6, toss really scales in damage. Bonus damage increased by 50% when carrying a tree. What, bonus damage of toss or bonus damage of grow? Because then you hit much harder. Bonus damage rescaled from 20% to 20 flat, which makes it insane in the lane. So you take this in lane, you just shit on kids. Because it's 20, right? So you just take, okay, you take tree and then you go 4-1-1 still, or you go 1-1-4. It just doesn't scale nearly as well, right? Yeah, okay, so it's like good in the lane. I don't know, this is so bizarre. Bonus damage is increased, bonus damage on what? On grow, but that's not that much. Now also slows enemy movement speed and attack speed by 20% for 2 seconds. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, but that's the throw. Okay. This is so weird, dude. What the hell? What the fuck? I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about this. I'm not even gonna try to speculate. Living armor. Cooldown, bait and nerfs to the living armor overall. Makes sense. The duration was increased. Oh, what? What? Oh, but the heal was rescaled. So the thing is, the duration is increased, but that makes it makes the healing not really a big part of this ability. Basically, what this implies is that you take living armor to essentially give things like a lot of armor and a decent amount of healing. The healing's very spread out though, so it's not really good for saving towers in terms of like from burst damage necessarily, because it doesn't really heal very much at all. It heals what, like 6 per second or something, slow as shit. So yeah, it's not very good for healing, but it's extremely good for giving your team armor. So tree against physical damage comps is nutty, is what I'd say. So I definitely think this hero is still good, especially as like a value. Well, it's not really a good value point anymore. You kind of, yeah, it's really good against armor comps, is what I'd say. Really good. I like the 1-4-4 build against armor comps. I feel like it's really nice. Troll grants phase movement. Oh, that's really useful, actually. That's a big buff to Troll. And Zero is starting to get picked already. So, big buff to Troll. 20 talent battle trance cooldown. It's not really, it's okay. Rolling Axe is Pierce Magic Mini. Oh, that's really good late game, actually. That's pretty strong. Missed chance against BKB units in late game. Kind of crazy. Movement speed reduced on Tusk. That's a nerf. Cooldown reduction on Punch. That's a big buff, actually. 16 seconds less. Kind of crazy. It does crit for less, but not that much less, for 16 seconds off the cooldown. So, I'd say that's probably a buff. Shard, basically the same. Snowball, basically the same. Kick, nerfed. Cooldown's reduced if you kick a creep. Whatever. 350 damage to all other units with 250. It's not that good. Unit infect ads. Kind of cool. I would say kind of a nerf on the movement speed on a roaming hero, though. So, remove Dark Rift. Whoa. No longer reduces cast point. Shard no longer reduces cast point. Shard now reduces wave and burn intervals and duration by 25%. Okay, so like Oh, that's kind of cool. So, like, really does a lot of damage very quickly. Now, Underlord's ultimate opens 2 portals. No way. This is going to be crazy. One next to Underlord and one in the target location with a global range. The destination portal has to be 2,000 units away from Underlord. Heroes can channel the portal for 30 seconds to teleport to the other side. Allies that pass through the portal temporarily gain 10, 30, 20, 30% damage reduction and movement speed for 5, 6, 7 seconds. Holy shit! Casting Fiend's Gate will cause Underlord to immediately start teleporting. Oh, so he has to teleport, which is definitely a big deal, but still. Rework Scepter. Fiend's Gate now spawns Pit of Malice under both portals. Pit of Malice slows. It's not that good. They don't really buy the axe, but I mean, I guess sometimes you could. Holy, that's going to be crazy. It's a long cooldown, but man, when he uses a spell, the impact is going to be insane. Can you kill the portal? I don't know, but wow, that's kind of crazy. I think it's better than his current ultimate. Well, yeah, I think it is. I think it definitely is, actually. So, because you can spawn him anywhere. It's so good for ganking. And 3-second channel time is not long compared to what the ulti was. It was like 5, 6 seconds channel time. Undying Soul Rip! Max units buffed, but it's kind of nerf. Okay, so it's like the same. Cooldown reduced. It's better though at level 1, but it hurts your mana pool. Undying's like the same. Ursa cooldown at 25. That's a big buff, but compared to the other talent, I don't think you generate. Well, with the shard, this is really strong. Okay, you might actually consider taking this now late game. Just because with the shard, if you're constantly shocking, you're constantly getting enraged, so it's pretty strong. Definitely not going to take that. Rework shard, bounces once on an enemy, prioritizing heroes, increases cat. That's actually a good shard. You could, you know, it's easy to stun people. 100 cast range, it's good. It's a good shard. Definitely would buy it in after Aether. I think like Aether shard on this hero or Ag's shard is very good. Veno, base damage by 4, it's a lot. No longer deals damage when it applies to the buff. Okay, so you can kind of blink out of it. Or you can blink after you get hit, so it's like much worse at canceling blink daggers. Damage per second increased from, I don't deals damage when it applies to the buff. Oh, maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Damage per second increased by quite a bit. Total damage are scaled from, okay, no, so it's about the same. Okay, so it's about the same. It's a little bit more at level 1, but it's about the same. It just doesn't apply it right away, which I think matters for blink daggers. But you're getting hit anyway, so maybe not. It's weird. That's a weird one. Viper got some talent changes. Corrosive skin damage. That doesn't seem that good. Nether Toxin min-max 15. Oh, min-max. So it does more early on. That could be good. I don't really know how good this is. 8% poison attack magic resistance is actually insane. Because you can get up to like what, 8 stacks with shard. So you can just reduce someone's magic resist by like 100 something %. So this talent's pretty insane. It's pretty insane, especially for like Magic Viper. This talent's quite nuts, actually. Familiars, vision increased, attack range, acquisition range increased. I don't know what that means. What, just like when they run at something? Visage and familiars. So you get an 8 damage talent of familiars. That's really strong, actually. Because like, you know, they have such high attack speed, so that's quite good. All right, that's pretty good. Anything else? That's about it. Astral Step, distance increase. So you can go much further at level 1. That's a buff. Wow, they just buffed the hero, basically. Crazy. Okay. All right. That's a huge buff to Astral Step, actually. Here comes the shit hero. 334. Thought they were going to do this. Cooldown nerfed at max. Reasonable. Aghanim Scepter no longer reduces cooldown. Just don't buy Axe on Weaver, guys. Trust me. Just don't buy Axe. Don't buy Axe on Weaver. It's not good. Even as a support, if you plan on playing this hero. I'm frankly still going to play this as a support. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I know it's 334. I still think it's really good. I'm still, you know, I think the way I'll play around this is I'm still going to max Akuchi, right? Still going to max Akuchi. I'm still going to take Q. I don't think this hero is that bad as a support. I really don't. I mean, it's going to be niche, and I think people are going to stop picking it, but I don't really plan on stop picking it. I don't. Wind. Gale Force is a cast range, but the cooldown's reduced. That's reasonable. It was kind of weird how it was global. Damage reduction rescaled to 30 flat. Bonus attack speed rescaled to, okay, so you lose quite a bit of attack speed, but you do more damage. So it kind of incentivizes going like phase boots rather than javelin. Rework Scepter. Wind Run is undispellable. Slows increased by 20. Enemies affected are blinded by 40%. You don't get charges, do you? It's not that good, right? Or do you get charges? Because then it's okay. Some games this is okay. The thing is you're blinding people, which is like kind of stupid, right? Because it's like you're already, you know, evading everything. Cast range increased by a lot on Witcher Curse. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Because I like this hero. Big buff to the ulti at max. 100 cast range is a lot. Witch Doctor Cask. Stun duration on non-hero units reduced from 5 seconds to 1. Okay, that's cool. Damage on non-hero hero units from 75 to 2 times hero damage. Whoa, big buff to Death Ward. Holy. Man, 10 seconds off on Death Ward. And this is big because the main reason why you pick Witch Doctor is for Maledict and for Death Ward cooldown early on. Like you just spam it, get kills. Big buff to Death Ward. 10 seconds is huge, man. You're going to be able to make so many more plays in the early game, so much more active. That's a big buff. This is obviously a huge nerf in some matchups, but this is a huge buff, so I like that. Base agility reduced by 2 on Wraith King. That's kind of a lot. Lifesteal reduced by, honestly, 4% of max. Pretty bad, but not too bad. Kills from units under Wraith King control and within 1200 range of Wraith King also gives progress towards skeleton charges. That's actually a huge buff. That's a massive buff because you can leave the camp earlier now and let the skeletons get the CS. In the past, you'd have to like cancel autos and make sure you get the last hit and like kind of AFK at the camp because you needed more skeletons. Now you don't have to do that, so that's a big buff. Allies heroes revived by Scepter upgrade now have a health bar for allies only. So basically, I don't know, man, this one is such a big buff, dude. This hero is still good for sure. I mean, this is a nerf. Not that much. I don't think this is that bad. His attack speed at level 1 is pathetic, but, you know, other than that. And our last hero, holy shit. Thank you so much for watching to the end if you did. You're a real one. Leave in the comments, I don't know, we should leave some sort of Easter egg, I guess, for the end of the video. Leave peanuts, or something along the lines of peanuts in the comments. But all right, let's get into Arc Warden. Arc Warden. Zeus, Arc Lightning. Mana cost increased at max, but it does a decent bit more damage. Kind of for a lot of mana though, which is not so great. Static Field is no longer a basic ability, now granted by Shard. Whenever Zeus attacks or casts an ability, it deals 9% of the current HP in damage! 9% of current HP. It is current. It's not total. I think it was total. No. It was current anyway in the past. 9% for the Shard, which is nuts. Your Q does a bit more damage for more mana, which is like kind of rough because you have mana problems. But now as a basic ability, Zeus performs a heavenly jump, striking the closest visible nearby unit, prioritizing heroes within a 700, 800, 900, 1000 range, which is insane, reducing their movement speed by 100, attack speed by 100, and increasing their cast time by 50% for 1.5, 2.5 seconds. What? That is a cast time. Okay, so they cannot move for 2.5 when this gets maxed. You get unobstructed vision around him for 3 seconds, which means like everything, so you see everything. The cooldown gets really low. So you max Q, max E, and you run around, and then you buy your Shard. This Zeus might be busted. You can quote me. This is ridiculous. I feel like this Shard, 9% flat for 1400 gold. Maybe the thing is it makes his spells much worse than I think in the early game. I don't really know. But it's not really like percentage-based damage is that good in the early game. So nonetheless, heavenly jump target at 15 seems kind of insane as well. Holy man, this talent at 15 is ridiculous actually. Zeus, man, kind of crazy, I think. I'm definitely gonna try this out. Man, so much to talk about, so much to experiment with. I am so excited for this patch. God bless Valve. Just want to say shout out to Valve, you know, even though they, you know, don't always, you know, nail it in terms of what's going on with tournaments and things like that. This patch is fantastic. A lot of great changes, a lot of things to experiment with. I didn't even go over the map changes. I'll be doing that as the next video or 2 videos from now because I really want to make, like, I'm so excited to make a builds to try video. You guys know I love doing that. There's so many builds to talk about, so many things to think about. Holy shit. I have so many games to play. I'm so excited. This is not even like fake, man. I'm not even saying and talking like this for YouTube. If you think I am, I'm not. I'm literally so freaking pumped for this patch, man. I am so pumped for this patch. There's so many things to try out, so many builds, so many different item builds. All right, thank you guys for watching that. What crazy changes. Once again, can't wait to talk more about how these changes are going to impact the meta in the future in upcoming videos. Hopefully I've given you a good idea on what's good, what's not, what you should try, what you shouldn't, and so on. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.